State Highway Department began planning to build a new interstate up the middle of this valley. The Colorado Historical Society was successful in getting the Highway Department to locate the interstate on the side of Republican Mountain where you see it today. The society started in 1950. Georgetown. To the left is a nice shot of engine number 14. There is also to your left a bowl-shaped area. It's called the ballpark. It's called that because in the early days there were no trees. They had cut them down for cabins and mine sports and firewood. And the miners would come up and build a ball diamond here and had a picnic area. They relaxed here on weekends. It was said that if you hit the ball over the high field, it was a home run, but it probably ended the game because no one could find the ball. And yes, this was the first Colorado Rockies. It was, however, the minor league. Colorado because the smaller cars were able to go around sharper curves, like the two curves we just went around. Smaller cars also mean lighter and less work for the engines on the steep mountain grades. Incidentally, we are now on the steepest part of our line. It is a descending 4% grade. That means for every 100 feet of travel, you drop 4 feet. And for your perspective, 3 of our cars are about 100 feet. We're cut in the mountainside. Notice, if you will please, the retaining walls on either side of the train. Those retaining walls were built in the 1880s without the use of mortar. This process is called dry stacking. And these 115-year-old walls are a real testimonial to the skill of the workmen of that day. Most of you have never taken the mine tour. You look to the left. You'll notice a portal there, construction and some wood, and perhaps some folks are down there touring. The portal on this side is the sister mine to the Lebanon mine where the tours are conducted. The sister mine just simply means that they connect back in the mountain. In this case, about 1,200 feet back in the mountain. Notice several buildings that were the outbuildings that were there on the mine site of the Lebanon. And true historical portrayal of picnic tables down there. That whistle means we're about to go out on the Devil's Gate High Bridge. If this bridge spans the mouth of the canyon, it can be breezy out there. So if you have small dogs, young children, hats, caps, or toupees, please hang on to those. For your trivia file, this bridge is 300 feet long and built on a 2% grade. That means this end of the bridge is 6 feet higher than the other end. To your right, you'll notice a nice view of the small town of Georgetown. To your left, our Devil's Gate boarding area. The center of this bridge is nearly 100 feet above Clear Creek, 75 feet above the lower track. If you look up the valley, back to your left, across from the highway overlook, you'll see a gray rock pile in the trees. Those are the tailings of the Hall Tunnel that we passed just a few moments ago. Further up, you'll see a barren horizontal line of the trees, and that's the high fill where we first pointed out this bridge. You can see just how much elevation we've lost, and we're not quite to the bottom yet. That stone monument to your left and down below the bridge was put there in 1947 by the Colorado Historical Society alongside what was then U.S. Highway 6, predecessor by 70. It marked Georgetown Loop, which in less than 40 years would be rebuilt in this original location. This type of engine is called a Shay, S-H-A-Y. This one was built in 1916 in Lima, Ohio, by the Lima Locomotive Works. And I understand they're also famous for their beams. The Shay locomotive is not a conventional engine. It means they have 3 cylinders on the right side only, and those cylinders power a crankshaft that turns, powers a flexible drive line that runs the length of the engine and the tender. So every wheel, even on the tender, powered by the drive line. This gives this little engine great pulling power, but not a great deal of speed because of the gear reduction. This particular engine ran for many years for Westside Lumber Company in Central California. It burns fuel oil to convert the water into steam, and steam makes it all happen. The Plume car next to the engine was built in the 1920s in the skeleton log flat, used to carry logs from forest to sawmill. It was converted over to carry passengers and completely rebuilt as the Georgetown Loop. Most of the remaining cars were built in the early 1900s by the Denver and Rio Grande Railroad as gondolas, and they were used to carry bulk commodities such as coal, or lumber, or ore. Tall roof cars were gondolas, but were altered with roofs and seats for the 1949 Chicago Railroad Fair.
Stay behind him.
Really kind of an engineering marvel in itself. Take a good look at it. It's almost an exact replica of the original bridge. That was built in the winter of 1883 and 1884, cast in wrought iron and cost $250,000. In 1931, they cut it up for scrapping and brought a whopping sum of $450. Sounds like one of my investments. The new bridge was built in the summer of 1983 and 84 of modern heavy-duty steel. It cost about $1 million. It is 5 times stronger than the original, which was set display as the train went by. I guarantee you today that this bridge will not sway like that. And the wind is across the high bridge. We expected those 2 toots of the horn from our engineer. We'll begin our non-stop run up the Silver Plume. On the uphill trip, we'll turn off the PA system so you can enjoy the sound of Clear Creek. And old number 14 is your work hard to take you on the ride over the Georgetown Loop.